Hello everyone, this is Yeshim, and in today's mini lesson we're going to look at the word order in English. There are different ways to form sentences in English, and there are certain rules. So today we're going to look at some of these rules. If you want to form a sentence in the English language, you need at least two elements. These are subject and verb. Verb means action. I study. I is the subject. Study is the verb here. He plays. Plays is the verb. They cook. We listen. Okay? All these sentences have a subject and a verb each. You can also add an object to your sentence. Subject plus verb plus object. This is a typical sentence in the English language and the most common word order. Object means a thing, a material thing, or maybe it's a noun. I study French. French is the object. We find the object in the sentence by asking the question, what? I study what? I study French. So French is the object. He plays football. He plays what? He plays football. So football is the object. They cook chicken. They cook what? Chicken. Chicken is the object. And we listen to music. We listen to what? Music. Music is the object. Now, in addition to subject plus verb and object, you can also include the place in your sentence. And place comes after the object. I study French. Where? At school. Excuse me. He plays football in town. Where? In town. The place. They cook chicken at home. We listen to music at work. And finally, you can add time in your sentence. Time needs to be at the very end of your sentence. Sometimes it's also okay to use the time phrase at the very beginning of the sentence. Let's look at the examples. I study French at school on Mondays. So the time phrase is at the very end of the sentence. I study French at school when? On Mondays. If you put the time phrase at the beginning, it's also okay. So you would say, on Mondays, I study French at school. He plays football in town every weekend. Time phrase at the very end, every weekend. If we take it to the beginning, every weekend he plays football in town. This is also okay. But bear in mind, when it is at the very end of the sentence, it tends to sound more natural. They cook chicken at home once a week. We listen to music at work all the time. For example, in this sentence, if we put the time phrase at the beginning of the sentence and say, all the time, we listen to music at work, it still sounds okay, but it is not as natural. And here is a summary of what I've explained to you. Subject plus verb. We need these two elements. You can add object to this, subject, verb, object. And then you can add place, which needs to be after the object, subject, verb, object plus place. and we can also add time, which needs to be at the very end of the sentence, but it's also okay to use it at the beginning, even though it doesn't always sound as natural. And we'll read just the first example. So I study is good. If I want to add more information, I study what? I study French. I included the object. And if I want to include more information, I study French at school. And time, I study French at school on Mondays. Okay, and this is the word order that you need to follow when forming sentences in English. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.